Yeah, whole off here. And plan on doing this about an hour ago, but you know, adulting to do as always. And we got a couple updates for you. For those that have been following, I did get in my 632 die from Amazon. Awesome. I have to figure that out. The other thing I need to figure out is something I thought of, as I have the taps and the dies for 1/4 inch through 1/2 inch, right? I need the matching drill bits. I bought them for the smaller ones because you could buy it with the tap. You know, at that point, do I buy a whole set, or do I just find the individual drill bits? What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments on that. The other thing is I talked to KC Tool, and initially they thought one of these had just popped off and I had to snap it back on. And I was like, yeah, it's not that. Take a look at the pictures. And the customer support rep was like, oh, I have never seen that before. Of course, it's me. So that's what happens. You know. Either way, KC Tool, being as good as they are, they already have another one coming out. But they said they'd ship it by the end of the day. Already a tracking number. And an independent order number, etc. So they're, you know, good job. But yeah, you know, that's what you get with me, is never before seen issues, because that's just my life. Remember, not cursed, because you can't be, but if one could be cursed, I may be slightly. Let's get this this light going here. It's Pocari Sweat. It's almost gone. Yeah, I haven't gotten to make you guys those videos yet because I've been unintentionally teasing you about things. But this time I swear that, I mean, I better not be teasing you, because I'm like sure that this is the package that the last video was supposed to be. Done. That's what you do. You're supposed to crush it, right? We got a couple other items here as well. Next one, let's just say, kind of heavy. I don't know how much this I can show you. Shipped from Amazon EU, Amazon Germany. So hit that subscribe button. Let's just say it's related to these guys. And was gonna crack this open tonight, but I'm seeing Squeers tomorrow at work. And if you know why that's important, you probably know what's in this box. There's probably 2, maybe 3 things that could be in there. So educated guesses down below. Definitely have to use. If you guys are wondering why did I have to pick this up, well, why did I have to pick that up? You know, I was gonna try and flick this open. It's definitely a two-handed. Do we go straight from the middle? You know, like, what? There's nothing there? JK. God, I normally am not into big knives. This is a 4-inch. For those wondering and haven't seen the video, Alox 2023 limited edition. And this is specifically the Hunter Pro. And this color is electric yellow. And this may have snuck into my cart when I was on Knife Center buying this guy, which I just registered. Oh, this thing's so beautiful. You know, like, those are two very dichotomy, something, whatever word I'm looking for there, and I'm like, yep, they are. Oh, and how did I even get looking at the Swiss Army knives? Is check this video. It's done quite well for me. This is the locking Swiss Army knife. Video did well enough that my uncle actually bought one after watching my video. So, hey, hope you enjoy it. I think this thing's super nice. They finally updated this lineup for, you know, with a clip and a lock for the modern user. And for those of you that do want more than just a blade, I want this one. It's called the One Blade. They do have the more outfitted, more complete. Okay, what? Didn't I just show you Alox limited edition? Maybe. Alox 2023 limited edition. Oh, classic SD. Some of you might know what that is. I'm not a huge Swiss Army knife aficionado. I did have an Alox back when they were like brand stinking new. Like my other Swiss Army knife, that was... Look at the finish on this guy. I just realized this. Sorry. Squirrel. Much more matte, much less matte. Huh. Extra super matte. I do feel like the smooth jaw Fuji Kurokins, because they're interested in these adjustable wrenches. I have videos on. You guys probably got sick of them. Let's put it that way. There's so many. But after seeing how awesome this was in person, and then in the box, I read that this is just part of a set, and I'm like, okay. And part of the reason why I like, oh, if you didn't know there were other ones, why didn't you buy those initially? I had no idea. I mean, this is a 2023 limited edition. Let's put it that way. That's why. But oh man, this feels really nice, ergonomic in the hand. Previously, the biggest one that I would normally carry is this Maverick from Tactile Turn. Doing anything with the camera arm in the way is always rough. But here, you know, there's a substantial size difference there. Even though it doesn't show on, maybe it doesn't show as well on camera. This just feels like a, you know, big knife. I had no idea that like each year they put those out, and there's 3 different models they've always done. I don't know if it's always the same model every year, but we've got, this one is the Pioneer X. So this is going to be closer to your traditional. There you go. Congratulations. You're now the owner of a new Alox limited edition 2023. Oh, what I was saying is I have a very early version of this somewhere. I can't find it at the moment. I'm sure it might even be with my keychains or something like that. Like I have, you know, like how you wear out keychains and stuff like that. Sometimes you want to keep them, or something you're like, why would you keep a wear out keychain? Memories, okay? Or sometimes you have one that you stopped using because you got a different one, but you might go back and use it, and often I do. I think it might have been with their 9th year, so 2023 9th year. That would mean 2014 is when they started. I want to say I got that Alox in like 2006 or something. The includes Classic SD. This is where I was rating that before. Classic SD, Pioneer X, and 100 Pro. That's the big boy you just saw over there. Characters by Electric Yellow, Alox Scales. Alox of Punched Aluminum. That's the one downside of that, is you don't get the toothpick or the tweezers, which, you know, but they are thinner, lighter. It can slightly be color may row off or lighten over time. Each edition limited 1 year, corresponding pocket knife. So this guy, oh, why is it stuck? Oh. Oh. When they say lighter, not that much lighter. I might have shown you the my original Swiss Army knife, which was also Both my Alox and my bigger one, and I don't know if it was the Pioneer or what, but the major difference that you get with the Pioneer X, and this seems very similar. Actually, on the back side, I had my this guy right here. Very sharp, but very high angle, was on the back side, back here with the corkscrew. So I don't know what model that is. I think it's one of the more classic ones, but one of the things, you know, you got the big blade, right? And effectively, that's where the one blade comes from, right? And my preference for that came from the fact that I had one of these that was more, I showed it off in the previous video where I opened up this guy. And I actually eventually went down to a singular blade version of the Swiss Army knife. And then you have the can opener and screwdriver. Almost cut myself on the one I showed off in the video previously. And then we have the bottle opener and bigger screwdriver. Okay, that's got the half lock. Does this have the half lock? Kind of, but not really. This doesn't either. So it might be that this side is a half lock cable and that one's not. Let's check the all. If so, that's probably why. Kind of, but not really on the all. But what makes this the X? Remember, it was a Pioneer X. Well, that's the one thing I haven't shown off, and that is some of your guys's biggest reason, and some of you, they even make one for those of you that want potentially to fly with it. I don't think they say you can, like, it's TSA safe, but theoretically it's a scissors that's like tiny. Is this scissors? For me, the scissors was never a huge item, but I know, like, one reason why a lot of people still stick with the Swiss Army knife over the years and years and years is because of the quality of the scissors. And then also the quality of the tweezers. The toothpick seems reasonably copyable. You'd think so would the tweezers be, but even other brands that make like their version of the Swiss Army knife often buy and use the Swiss Army knife tweezers and toothpick. But so a big reason why I've heard people still using, like when they're like, oh, the blade steel on other knives is better. Well, it's like, why do you keep using the Swiss Army knife then? Well, the reason is because of the scissors. And that's what makes this the X, the Pioneer X, is that third middle row here. That's what makes this thing so chunky. Hey, Paisley Marie. Let's get you on camera. Hey, Paisley. How's the kitten? Yeah, you're like, why aren't we watching TV already? Elliot, you need to be going to sleep. Yeah, crawling on my shoulder. After this video, Paisley. Paisley. Hey. Paisley, what you doing? Oh, jumping over to the desk. So had to pick this up, this electric yellow. You get more of it on the Hunter Pro, but dang, still looks great. These Alox scales are really grippy too. I would say the one on this Pioneer X is actually more grippy than this Hunter Pro. The design is like same but different. If you notice, it's a much, we're not zoomed in. There's a 5X. It's much more finer, finer. Yeah, bad English. On the Pioneer X here. So let's pop that out. And is there anything? I saw somebody that had a lanyard pull that was yellow. I may try and get one. I swear this is where, I don't have it over here at the moment, but Palmer got their packaging, because They did that same sort of stacking up stuff. This is just cardboard though. They used like wood in that one. I feel like I feel like they used it to give it more heft than it actually, like the product actually does. So, Alox limited edition. There we go. That is the Pioneer X. Probably like the, because it's not the, doesn't have the tools on the opposite side, but that is one of the more classic designs. This, minus the original big guy, that's probably a little bit more classic than the Pioneer X there. And this is the classic SD. It's literally in the name. So same insert here. What's a little itty bitty guy? So light. Wait, I shouldn't have put this guy away. I want to show for reference how much smaller. There you go. Here's the Pioneer X. And there is the classic SD. Oh, they scaled down. I don't remember that. They scaled down the Alox texture as well. There you go. 2023. I feel like they could have done that a little bit better, personally. On all of these, it's just that, like, 2023. I'm guessing they use that for other stuff on other models. You know, but especially on, like, here on the 100 Pro, that side looks awesome on this thing, too. Still don't know if I'm going to put on the lanyard. It's way more and, like, stiffen in the way. Maybe it'll break in. You guys let me know. Peter, what are you doing over here, huh? But classic SD, my grandpa would always run one of these until he lost one. See, that's also, I may have given him my Alox one, because I tend to not use these little guys. I would have been carrying my Gerber EAB. But nowadays I would carry one of these. Or if it's on my keys, like many people would put this on, I would put a TUKK Jr. on there. What is in here? Well, we have your, if you went the classic one, not the Alox, you would get the tweezer and the toothpick, which for many, that's like a big reason to carry this. You got your standard blade. These are always interesting to sharpen, these really small blades. Then you have your screwdriver slash file slash, I think many people, including me, would use that as a pry bar. Not like a very heavy duty one, but that is also why I now carry a pry bar or two on my keys, because otherwise the knife becomes the pry bar. And it's not even really like for like heavy duty, like, you know, it's just for like kind of getting something somewhere that's smaller and more pointy than your finger. And then the other side, here, the classic scissors, except in little baby mini form. So, yeah, I had to pick these up once I saw the colorway. Then as I was researching this colorway, the electric yellow, I found out about this, I think it's Stay Glow, which is a yellow variant that is glow in the dark. Ooh, you can see, because this was in the packaging for so long, and it's thicker. That's glue. Do Do you guys see that like texture there? I'm gonna have to take that out with some alcohol. But that's glue. I've had other things that did it because they glue together these layers of cardboard. It's not corrugate. This doesn't have it. Maybe a little bit towards the edge here. But yeah, that, because it's how thick it is very clearly, like, from sitting in there, the goop, right? God, these feel so dainty. I can see why many of you keep these on your keys, because it'll get you a lot of places, you know. Pick shit out from underneath your nail, etc. For me, it just always wasn't heavy duty enough. That was the big thing. And you're like, why? The thing in your keys shouldn't be heavy duty enough, right? But if I can carry a knife that takes an X-Acto blade that's this size, that's effectively what a TUKK Junior is, or the original TUKK was. And then I can also carry a pry bar that's about this same size. That's a lot more versatility for me, right? Even one of the other more popular videos lately, the EVE Scalpel, I believe he calls it. The Skookum Scalpel is not that much bigger than this. Personally, I would not pocket carry that because there's nothing locking it back. I think there should have been a magnet. That's fine, though it does, when you pull, so if you get cut in something a bit thicker, it will unlock. Right. Luckily, it still catches. But, yeah, see that? So, I don't know if I would... I wouldn't probably carry this on keys, just because of the chance that it could... And as somebody who has had that happen on his TUKK, or TUKK Junior when the blade's really goopy, where it's just sticking out, something like that right there will really fuck you up. So, what do you guys think? Do you think it was worth tracking all these down? Ended up having to go to eBay for these two because I've bought knives and knife-related accessories from quite a few different online retailers. None of them had any of these still in stock. So I don't know if that's because, well, I mean, this one was still there, and this one's actually, the 100 Pros actually had a lot of places still. So I'm guessing, this style is less popular. Depending on what you're doing, I can definitely see that, because these things, your average normal person might use or might get, or might be like, oh, hey, that's a cool color, I'll pick it up, sort of thing. Whereas this thing, that's a knife. I mean, yes, they make bigger ones, but that's substantial, at least for me. The ergonomics on it are pretty amazing, though. They did a good job there. Swiss-made steel there. So had to pick, like I said, this one snuck in the cart, and then once I found out, well, reading it and opening it with you guys, if you watched that video, from the card in there, that there were two more of this design, had to poke around and find them. Got these from the same seller. You saw them in the same box, or in the same bag from them. They were also US based, whereas a lot of them, I'm not saying they're fake, but a lot of the ones that were still in stock were China or some other country based. And yeah, I'm just not gonna mess with that, It must go this way, like that. this thing's got some heft. But yeah, so I might have to look at those like stay glow ones. Those seem pretty cool. And there's also a classic yellow that's right in my wheelhouse of correct yellows. And yes, there are correct yellows. We've had that talk before. Yeah, I had to pick these up once I knew they existed. So, let me know what your thoughts are. If you like this color as much as I do. I mean, you could probably tell why I picked it up. And, something about these, they just, you know, this could definitely be updated to like a more modern like design. But that's not what they're about, you know. We are inching closer to some of these more classic brands, you know, bringing us some of the more modern features, though, that we're looking for. Like the clip, that one had a clip. That one locked, but it was like a back lock. That's really not all that common anymore, I feel like. And man, the lock on this guy. Whoo-wee! And I don't know why. And maybe it's because, like I was saying, they're using the same... they're using... I think I can tell why. Okay, this one, this locking bar, goes all the way around the end here, right? That is the same lock, not as this blade, which is easier to open, right? Those are the same size blade. It's not using that one, right? The lock it's using is the lock for the scissor. If you notice, this one wraps all the way around. So that's my only guess. It's because you're applying, it's just like it's just got that little bit more. You can see right there. It's got that little bit more on there. I wonder if that's why it's so much stronger to open this up, because it might have been designed for the skizzer. And because on this one there's only that center lock, right? But they're using it for the blade here. That may explain why it's so much stronger. Mine's already worn in a little bit after I've been playing around with it for the past week or so. And I'm getting used to it too. I wasn't the only one though. When Squares popped this thing up, he's like, oh! Ugh! It's definitely not what you're expecting, especially if you've previously used some Swiss Army knives yourself. And I was handling them in the video, you know, like other older ones, and man, I also feel like, and maybe it's just the design, both the blade on this one and the blade on this one's the same size, but like my equivalent of my older design, the new blades on these are bigger, and my old single blade, it's even smaller. So I don't know if, because I can tell you my more classic Swiss Army knife did not fill the hand that well. I wonder if they've transitioned to like a slightly longer blade, or if are these just different models. Like I said, I'm not a huge like Swiss Army knife nerd, so I don't know these things. Maybe as I get some more, if I get some more, we'll discover that along the way. So if you guys know some of that info, let me know. Chime in. I like when they say colors sell. Yeah, that's literally why I bought these. So you guys are like, oh, you only bought them because they're the color you like. Yes, literally I did. But that doesn't mean I can't appreciate a nice knife, which all of these are. And like I said, all started from this guy here just sneaking into my cart, and then we read this and they're like Classic XD, Pioneer X, and Hunter. I'm like, wait, there are two more? There you go, Hunter Pro Alox. Yeah, they even show it there with the lanyard that's down there, and it's really stiff. because this feels great in the hand. Having that stiff stick like that long sticking off of it. But, you know, if it wears in, you know, on like the right there where they put that, that's perfect for how big this grip is. Your thumb is not really getting, it's not like that Buster, because the handle's real short, you can get your thumb way up there. Their ergonomics on this are very well thought out. I am so used to pressing back here for a lock though, but they have it more up towards the middle. So yeah. Are there any previous colors, like if you look at other years, that you would want to be picking up? It seems like this color, especially in that Hunter Pro, has stuck around. I've seen a lot of years of Hunter Pro. I just have a feeling it might not be necessarily the Victorinox knife that Victorinox, depending on how you spell that, or spell it, say it. Might not be the knife that a lot of people are looking for. So hopefully we'll see in future videos. I don't know if like I don't have any other knives planned. Like this one was really unplanned, to be truthful, except they showed it off I think at Blade Show, and just such a beauty. They're not cheap. None of these things are cheap. And so I tried to shy away from picking them up, but this one was too good. Oh, I shouldn't say that. The one that's on there, because they're redoing the Buck 110 and the 112. For me, really, for everyday carry, like how I mainly use knives, the 110 is just too big of a knife. But they are doing the 112, which is the Ranger. I don't want to pre-order it, you know, but once it's out, just like this guy, you know, because this I saw in December. There was a review out, and I kept an eye out for once it released. Just like that, I will probably be picking up that Ranger 112 with the, what is it? It's got Magna Cut, and it's got the clip, and it's slim. The handles are slimmed down. Whew, that thing looks like a real like heirloom piece that you could use your whole life in the past long. So maybe hit that subscribe button and keep an eye out for that. I have no idea when it's launching. Otherwise, that video right there is coming next. It's got some relation to these guys. German. See the next one. Peace.